Hi everybody, this is Sandy Reese with StampinCrew.com and welcome to another episode of How Did They Make That? Today we're doing another project from the Coffee Break Suite. This is the big bag of coffee that they've kind of wrapped up and made this cute tag for. So I'm going to show you how they did that. Okay, out of this stamp set today, we are only using this word. Happiness is a cup of coffee shared with a friend. We're not going to be using any of the dies from this set, but we are going to be using some of the designer paper, the one that has all these cool coffee crafts and the coffee cups. But we're going to cut out these 3 different crafts, and then we're using this kind of wood grain designer paper. So I've already cut out what we needed. So I have my wood grain designer paper, and this is 4 by 6. And then I have a piece of espresso cardstock, which is 3 by 3.5. And then I've cut out our 3 coffee carafes. And then I have one of our corrugated elements, and we're using the oval. And then we've got a 1/2 inch, we're going to use our 1/2 inch punch and cut out this little round piece of old olive cardstock. Then I just have a scrap strip of Whisper White, and that's what we're going to use to stamp our word coffee on. And then we have this piece. Now you see we have this on the sample, and this is cut with the Lots of Labels framelit dies. So I've already pre-cut this, and it's using the 3rd from the largest. So it's using, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th from the bottom, 3rd from the biggest. So that's what we're going to use. And this has a lot of pieces, but it's not really hard. So the inks we're going to use actually markers today. We're using Old Olive, Early Espresso, and Garden Green. So we're going to go ahead and stamp everything, and then we'll do our assembly. Okay, just set that up there. So on my label piece, the Lots of Labels, I'm going to find my scissors, and we are just going to cut this in half. All right. So I'm going to start with the bottom, and we're going to use Old Olive, and we're going to color this. And I like this one. It's got a lot of words you could do. This one we're doing happiness is coffee with a friend. The stamp says happiness is a cup of coffee shared with a friend. But you could do all different things. You could do friend is happiness, coffee is happiness, share a cup of coffee. All these different sentences you can make using just markers. So we're going to do the bottom is just with a friend. So when you're doing this, use the side of your marker. Never use the tip of your marker. You need to get in there. And I'm a big believer of stamping once on your scrap paper. Make sure it looks good. All right. You want to make sure your stamps are really clean, course, before you do this. All right, got some fuzzies. All right, so I'm going to stamp that right down here on the bottom. Okay, good. Next, I'm going to stamp happiness for the top. You just want to be careful not to get ink on the other words when you're doing this. I'm going to stamp happiness here for the top of our tag. Okay. Then we're going to clean it again, and we're going to stamp the word coffee on our strip. So we're going to use the espresso marker for that one. Okay. Oops. Some of the words are a little close together, so you want to make sure you don't get ink on those, or you're going to get a shadow where you don't want it. All right, hopefully that's good. So we're going to stamp that on our scrap. Okay, that looks good. And then our last word we're going to use is the word is on our circle. We're going to do that. It's on Old Olive, so we're going to use the, we're going to use our garden green because that's darker, so it's going to make that word show up a little bit better. Just make sure you use the edge of your marker so you don't smash the tips. I'm going to just stamp that right in there. Whoops, let's see, I got a shadow on there. Let's try that again. We'll flip it over. Our paper is double-sided, so this is good. We can do this pretty easily. Okay, that's a little better. All right, so we've done our stamping, so now we're going to assemble. We're going to start with our espresso cardstock, and we're going to go landscape. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive, of the snail adhesive there, and then I'm going to attach this to the back. And then same thing with happiness. I might even just put it on the back of here too. That'll be fine. And then you want it to look like it's all one big piece, so try to get them both centered fairly good. All right. Next we're going to add our corrugated oval. And that's going to go centered right below happiness. Whoop. We want to make sure that we have enough room to put our 1/2-inch circle there too. So we're going to give it just a little bit of room there. And then I'm going to flag the ends of my word. I cut into the center and then I cut to the side. All right, and then that is attached right there with some snail. Okay, next we're going to take our 1/2-inch circle and one of our dimensionals. And we're going to pop that up right between happiness and coffee. And then on these carafes that we cut out, stick a couple on the back of each. And we're going to pop these up on there as well. This one is kind of hanging over a little bit. And we'll do the one on the right. That hang over a bit, and then we'll put this one in the middle. All right, so that's our tag. And then we're going to just pop this whole thing up on our designer paper. And one more here. So I just kind of put the 4 corners and the 2 ends. And that's just going to center right on here. Okay, so that's our tag. And then if you look on the sample, they've got this wrapped around this big bag of coffee. So I looked in my cupboard to see I did have a big bag of Starbucks coffee. Not all gone yet, but I wanted to show you how to make the cover that they did. And then I take it some crumb cake cardstock, and this cardstock is 3.5 inches wide by 11 inches. So I've cut 2 out of my sheet. And then I've scored a 1/2 inch on one end of both of these, okay? So I'm going to fold back those score lines. And then for the bottom, I cut this, it's 3.5 by 3.5. And then I scored it on one end at a 1/2 inch, just like I did on the others. I'm going to show you how to assemble this. So this is my front, and I'm going to do my flap on the top for the front. And the best adhesive to use for this one is tear and tape adhesive. So I'm going to put this on my flaps. I can't grab that, these fingernails, so I'm just going to, where's my piercer? This is the best tool for this. I'm going to use my piercer, slide it under there and pull that off. And then I'm going to just attach it to the other one on the non-scored side. So now this is my bottom. Put some adhesive here and pull that off. I'm gonna put this in my bottom. Alright, or I could put that on the side. On this one, I put my adhesive on the outside because I don't want that to show. I'm not too worried about the bottom. Well, I should have done that on the top too, but that's alright. So I'm going to take my front, attach it there. Now I've got this nice big table tent. I'm going to stick my coffee in here. If I wanted it to stay, I'd just put a little bit of tear and tape on the bottom as well. So now I've got this nice, cool cover for my coffee gift. And then I took a little bit of the Whisper Right Classic Weave ribbon, wrap it around, and then they'd have a huge bow tied here. Alright, and then we are just going to pop up our four, well, we don't want to put them right in the corner because this tag's actually a little bit wider, so I'm going to put them in a bit. I'm going to just put that right on top. Yeah, the tag's a little bit wider than our package, so you want to make sure your adhesive dots are in a little bit, your dimensionals. And that is it. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see more of these videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you can click on the link in my blog for detailed supplies and sizes of everything. Thank you so much.